right, peoples. Welcome to another episode of the Convicted to Grow podcast. I'm your girl, Coach Tressa, motivational speaker, confidence and business strategy coach. And y'all know how we do here. We talk about growth, we talk about resilience, we talk about building, rebuilding, and rising stronger than ever before as it relates to life, career, and business. And y'all know sometimes y'all see me one-on-one, but other than that, I bring a guest. Now, for our summer series, we are doing what you call Next Chapter Conversations Encore Edition. You know, I've been rocking this podcast for 18 months now, y'all. We like an episode 63, 64, somewhere around there. And I was like, you know what? Let me double back and get some amazing guests who have been making an impact since the last time they were here. Like, don't y'all want to know what they've been doing? And so I was praying about it, and I said, you know what, God, show me my top 5, top 6 folks that I need to come back and really truly let them share what they've been doing these last 18 months. Now, my next guest, right? She is oh my gosh, all around. I mean, I'll just say this. She's a speaker, transformational speaker. She's an accountability coach. She'll help you become the CEO of your life. She's a corporate trainer, workshop facilitator. She's a master certified electrician, teaching others the advocacy of skilled trades, whether it relates to our students or as our adults, right? She is in many communities serving, impacting, changing lives. And she's also a friend. She's a mother. Oh my gosh. And I'm probably missing some titles, but I will tell you this. When you go into the description, make sure you go to episode 11. Episode 11, you're going to hear her whole background up until last year, right? So make sure you go to episode 11 and check it out because we're not going back. We're going to talk about just these recent months. And so y'all help me welcome none other than Keisha L. Blair, aka the electrician, aka all around girl.
Hey. That was so good. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
What's crazy is I'm saying this off the top of my head. I ain't
Wow,
have
that's
nothing.
wild.
I said, Trusty, you ain't even prepared for this. I said, I'm gonna go ahead and just go with the flow.
Sometimes it's how you got to do it.
But listen, y'all, I was so excited bringing her back. But before we get started, please make sure you subscribe to the channel and make sure you share this out as well. And just know your likes, your comments are priceless to me. So thank you for supporting me. But how you been?
Oh, busy. All that stuff you just said, very, 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 very busy. But busy is good in our industry. So look, I'm here for it.
Yes, and you know, I interviewed her, like I said, she was episode 11. So I was just getting started. And she has some transition going on in her life, her entrepreneur journey. Like I said, you got to go back and listen to it. But just since that time frame, which was around March, here we are a year and some change later. You know, we friends, we talk every single week. Might not be every day. In fact, if we do talk every day,
just every day.
audio messages. I got her doing audio messages. Like we'll do 5, 6
Not 20 minutes. We've been doing many keynotes.
Listen, and don't let me leave an audio in a phone ring, and I be like, I got to do it all over. I'd be so mad.
Look, I know cut me off at 10 minutes. I'm like, okay, so that's my max on mine. So I have to start another one over.
And you know, like the reason why she was selected in my top 5 was because I wanted to pick those that I visibly see just in my timeline, social media. Because here's the thing: every guest has been amazing. Let me just say that every single guest, and I couldn't bring everybody back, but I just wanted to show the growth journey. I would say growth is a daily thing, and I've seen you just in this amount of time, the transformation with your weight loss, building your entrepreneur journey, working with some of the amazing communities, some amazing people like Dr. Eric Thomas and Jeremy Anderson's community. And, I've seen you just get out there in the streets and boots on the ground in Memphis, Tennessee, doing workshops. So let the people know. Let's celebrate you for a little bit. Let the people know, what has Keisha been doing since the last time we spoke?
I've been grinding. That's all I can say. Last year, after we first met, I think it was around, like you said, March or April, I went to the Next Level Speakers Academy conference in Atlanta. That was my first time going to one of the conferences. So powerful. I signed up as a volunteer, but I was able to see a lot of the speakers speak. And when I was listening to ET speak, he talked about your assignment. So after I left the conference, I felt like my assignment was to talk to children about the benefit of the skilled trades. And so I really just been pouring into that more and more. And, I said that I wanted to talk to 1 million children. So I'm still on that mission. I don't even know how many I've talked to so far, but it's not close to a million. But I've launched my tour called Crafting Careers That Build, to where I go into the schools and just talk to the children about the benefit of the skilled trades. I do workshops for skilled trades. I try to do them monthly. I've done a couple virtual, but then I also do virtual workshops for, I call it the Legacy Lab. And I have other people who are in the skilled trades, to where they come on the platform, and we just do that once a month. And just to talk about what we've done since the skilled trades, because, as I get older, being in for 30 years, you got to pass the torch, right? So I'm thinking about just that next generation, what they need to hear, because there's over 500,000 open skilled trades jobs right now. So I'm just pushing and promoting all of, not just being an electrician, but just being in the skilled trades period, because people don't even think about, you need skilled tradesmen and skilled tradeswomen to just do things like build buildings, build schools, build highways, infrastructure, all these different things that need to be done. Well, they can't be done if people don't know about the benefit of the skilled trades, not just working out in the field, but how it's helped me to provide for my family and do the things that I wanted to do for my family that I never would have done had I chosen a different career path. So that's why I'm passionate about the skilled trades. And then just man.
Can I stop you real quick before you go
Okay,
further?
go ahead.
No, because I always want to give people the benefit of the doubt. Like, can you just briefly share to the viewers and listeners who may not know like give examples what those positions are? Because
Oh, okay, yeah.
just so
So,
people would be like, well, skill trades. Not
well,
everybody may not know.
so I say skilled trades, and I call them AI resistant jobs. So building trades, meaning like electrical, HVAC, carpentry, iron workers, welders, heavy equipment operators, plumbers. Oh my goodness. So many, basically the people that have to do hands-on, like she said, boots on the ground. When you roll past a construction site, those people that work on things like that, any construction site, whether it's on a home, a commercial building, a industrial type facility, anything like that. And then also my maintenance personnel too, because just once the building is completed, you know, most of the time, skilled tradesmen, we work ourselves out of a job. Then there's some that go beyond that. And I've gone beyond that, and I've gotten into maintenance. So your maintenance professionals, I tell the maintenance professionals that they are leaders, because leaders add value and they solve problems. And most people don't think about the maintenance team until something breaks or something needs to be added. And they're adding value and they're solving problems. So they're leaders. So that's my message when I go into the corporate teams and tell them about, okay, I know you got a great leadership team, but let me talk to your maintenance team. And they were like, for what? Really? Because they're the people that keep this building running. That's why I want to talk to them.
Wow. Okay. Yeah, I just wanted to give a little details of that for those who didn't know. But yeah, you're right. And we got to give flowers to skilled trades, because I remember last year Thanksgiving when my hot water stopped working, and on Thanksgiving Day they had emergency person that came out, and of course y'all how they be like, what's gonna be double.
Yeah, and see, that's one of them benefits right there. Sometimes there ain't nobody else is gonna get out and do it but you. So guess what? You get in the summer. HVAC technicians make so much in the summertime and in the dead winter, because when it's hot, you're gonna pay whatever it's gonna take to get your house cooled off. When it's cold, you want your house to be warm. So those HVAC techs, they know what they're doing.
Yeah, and okay, all right. Now go ahead. What else? And with the skill trades, I know you've been doing the workshops. I know. And also, talk about how you've been for Memphis schools, the library.
Well, yeah. So that's a part of my craft and careers that build tours. So I go into right now. I have most of my workshops are at the library here in Memphis, Tennessee, just for the juniors and seniors who have recently just graduated, and I'm just letting them know about the options that they have beyond high school. Because most people think about, okay, well, I'm going to college or I'm going to the military. A lot of them have no idea that the skilled trades is actually a viable option for them. So I just enlighten them on what some of the jobs are they could possibly work, and how to get into the apprenticeship programs in the tri-state area here in Arkansas, Tennessee, and Mississippi.
Wow, amazing. Okay. And so what else have we done in the last 18 months?
Oh my goodness. Well, I am still, and I think the last time I was on, I talked about my book. So the book is getting closer to being finished. My release date that I have now is 11/21. I know those are my favorite numbers. So, because that was episode 11. Uh, so my book title is Alpha Intuition, Don't Stop, Keep Climbing. So I am still working on it, but I look forward to bringing it hopefully, no, I'm not going to say hopefully, on November 21st. That's my birthday. And that's the day I plan on releasing my book. So working on that, and really, just serving in all these different communities that you've mentioned. I've had the opportunity, just to serve behind the scenes in several different capacities. I'm sure anybody that knows me, y'all see me out here in these streets. You never know. I might just pull up. I'll come to a chapter meeting for Next Level. I may show up at an event that you may be having. If I know that somebody is going to be having an event, they're having a TEDx talk, they have a keynote or a workshop, I will definitely try to pull up if I can. But that's just me supporting, because I figure you can't ask someone to support you if you're not willing to support others.
Yeah, yeah. And I can tell you this. I stopped asking her questions. Girl, you all over the place. But she does it well. When I say she does it well, she does it well. I mean, she's even part of the Convicted to Grow circle community. She comes in, matter of fact, I think you presenting not next week after, about high frequency communication.
Yes.
To our members in there. So, but you have been definitely an added value. And real quick, let's talk about why is community so important? Because here's the thing, even skill trades is community. Communities are all over. It's with different interests and different, people and whatnot. What has been the three key benefits of you, or your takeaways of being a part of any of the communities that you've been in?
I'm going to say the first one would be just support. Just knowing that you have like-minded people to support you in your mission. That's one of the biggest things right there. And I'm going to say just family. Once you join a community and you're around, you get to know them, they get to know you, and you become a close-knit family. You know that you have somebody that you can call on, sometimes not even just for your business, but just for your personal needs. You can have someone just to talk to or just to hash things out. Just when things may not go how you wanted them to. You may have a bad day and you just may need somebody that you need to talk to. And the third one, if I had to say, let me see. I'm going to say the third one would be just, I'm going to say accountability, because I'm an accountability partner to at least 5 people right now. Then the other 4 probably of each don't even know it, because I support them well. But also I have some people that hold me accountable, because when I throw things out there, like when I say, okay, I'm going to have my book done by this day, they hold me to the fire like I hold them to the fire. So accountability is definitely something that I get from communities. And then if I could just add one more, I'm going to say just the positive environment.
Yeah.
I always say this, I've said this plenty of times, I am not a speaker. And then the other thing I forgot to is I was just recently announced the chapter president for the ATM chapter for Next Level Speakers Academy. And I'm not a speaker, right? So, but I like to do workshops more than I like to do keynotes. So somebody asked me, why?
You're still speaking. You're still speaking.
Look, and I think you might have asked me, you were the first one to ask me this. You said, why did you join a speakers academy if you don't like to speak? And I thought about
She's a speaker, y'all. She just not. She don't want to be on stage. But what she don't realize, she can go in, if you're training, your workshop facilitation. That's still a speaker, a corporate speaker. Is just the type. So when she says she's not a speaker, let me just make sure y'all get this right. She's not the one got to have the stages, right? But her stage is put me in the boardroom, put me in the classroom, put me in the library.
The training, the facilitation style. That's what I prefer more. I know, maybe because I get to have a conversation with people, and I just don't like sitting up there doing like a keynote. But when you asked me that, it really caused me to think. And I think that was at the conference last year. I'm thinking like, man, why did I? So it just made me think, because I joined Next Level as an elite member, and all the money that I spent, and I said, you know what?
It was worth it.
But I would rather spend $40,000 to be in a room full of people to build me up than to get paid $40,000 and have a company tear me down.
Whew, girl, that part.
So that's one of the reasons. And it's like after it was almost like a dopamine hit. After I went to the first conference, the first mastermind, it was like, oh my God, I never had felt that before. Everybody was cheering me. And it's like, we were all, it was like I had a brand new family. So I wanted to go back, and I kept going back for more, and I kept signing up for more. And it's like, it was just like, then after a while, it just became, it just became something that I needed to have. So, and even though, like I said, and I'm still working on it, I may get up there and do a keynote here and there, but it's not my first choice. I'm not going to say I'm going to turn it down, because, if somebody asks me to come speak, I'm definitely going to. So I want to get that straight. I'm not going to turn an opportunity down that I feel is for me, that I prayed about to God. But it's not my first choice. If you say, hey, you want to come do a keynote or you want to come do a workshop? Well, I'm taking the workshop all day long.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. And what I learned even too, like I've seen companies, they'll say, or because they'll hit me up and say they need a motivational speaker. But when you get to talking to them and you ask about their pain points, and they say, well, they're not communicating, or they're not doing this, not doing that. You can flip it around and propose the workshop. And now, because it's like, I can come in there and motivate for 1 hour and rah, but y'all still ain't communicating. Mm-hmm. Or you still ain't confident or whatever. Right. So, but you made a good point to that with the community, because here's the thing, you needed that, right? And like I said, y'all got to go back to episode 11 to hear her full story, because we'll sometimes get more support and more love and more like from those who are in like-minded communities versus, let's just say, the outside, your family and friends who've known you for years.
Yeah. Yeah, they have those limited beliefs about you, and they're still tied to how you used to be as opposed to how you are.
Yeah, I remember you when.
Yeah.
So they want to do like, girl, you tell one of your family members the investment you made. Girl, why you?
How much you pay for that? Ain't none of your business.
Exactly.
Enough to where I'm growing.
That part. But yeah, no, that is amazing. Because I know we're in the Next Level Speakers Committee. You're more active than I am in it, but just to see, and I'll say this real quick, just give your flowers. Like, if you go back and look at an episode, and I was still new into this podcasting world, but I've seen a huge, like, you talk more now with confidence. And I'm gonna say that, and I'm saying it with love, but this is how y'all know that growth. No, because I used to be always looking up to the hills which cometh my help, looking for words to say. And then I know you would, if you look back, just
yes,
in that video, in your first episode, and I know you said you was nervous because it was your first interview, but to see you now and just the way you flowing out words, the glow, like there's a glow. It's just like, wow.
I think I learned how to use these controls a little bit more on StreamYard. That's all that is. But I have to say that two things that actually help that. I'm going to say having my own podcast, Alpha Intuitions, to where, I do that weekly, and I'm on episode, I think 46 or 47 right now. So just to not think back then, I was only on like maybe 3 or 4. So to know that I kept going, yes. So had to have my own podcast. And then also, like I said, when we do these audio messages, I don't do them with you. I do them with a lot of people because my phone stays off during people. My business hours are 9 a.m. to 7 p.m. If you ain't talking about revenue generating activities, you go into voicemail. So, and when I have time, I may respond, but it's through audio message. So people know that they just need to leave me an audio message. But that helps with trying to collect your thoughts and be more linear and just to think about what you want to say and be more intentional about your conversation. So that's definitely helped out as well.
Yeah. And not only that, ain't nobody got time to sit on the phone. Especially when you have a lot going on, it's just an easy, let me leave an audio text. Like I actually do that rather than texting.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah. And please don't leave me no regular voicemail. I don't even check that folder. I do not. And I'm gonna tell you this: before I even had my own business, I didn't even have voicemail. I only turned it on, when I became an entrepreneur. And I'm thinking I'm just gonna turn it back off to where I don't even have voicemail. That way, um, people don't even have the option to leave it. You either text or you leave an audio message or email me
Yeah. And
at
speaking of,
blair.com. No.
yes. And speaking of the entrepreneur journey, like, to see you now, and where you at now, and then I want you to give an inspiring message for the entrepreneurs, because you had no other choice. It was kind of like, hey, you got laid off from your job, so you was kind of like, all right, I'm in this entrepreneur journey, and I kind of explain, if you had to look at these last 18 months, whether it was ups and downs or pauses and stillness, shifting and pivoting to figuring out the who is it I want to serve, but still staying motivated. What would you tell that entrepreneur that maybe had to do what you just did and say, I'm starting this journey because the job, let me go. But right now, I just don't see it, and it's just getting frustrated over and over again. I'm just ready to throw in the towel.
I'm at to clear my throat on that one. If someone came to me and said, I'm thinking about, I want to be an entrepreneur. I don't want to, let's just say I got X amount of dollars. I got a severance package. What should I, if they ask me my honest opinion, what should I do? I would 100% tell them you need to invest in yourself. And the program that I would recommend would be, what is it called? I think it's called the Inner Circle. It's under ET's tree. It's under, it's one of his programs that he has to where he helps you to develop your business. And I was added as a +1 in this group. My sister Bridget, I think she's in the DMV as well.
What's up, Bridget?
Bridget said to me that she wanted to join this group, and she wanted me to be her +1. And I'm like, now this program, it's in the thousands of dollars, right? And I thought, wow. And I said, well, do you want me to pay you for half of it? She's like, no, I just want you to come and be my accountability partner. She said, because I know you are in a lot of different spaces. I know if I can't be there, I know you'll be there. I know you'll hold me accountable. And that's what I do. So she's one of the people that I support as her accountability partner. But as I'm able to sit in the room with people who are already millionaires, some of them want to be, some of them are going to be, but they're trying to figure out what their next move will be, but they've invested in themselves. So if you're an entrepreneur and you're thinking about starting your own business and you want to figure out how to get there, don't just ask anybody. You ask somebody that's already doing it. And when I look at the trunk of the tree, Dr. Eric Thomas, E.T. the hip hop preacher, and all of the branches that have sprouted from him, he's creating millionaires. And I don't know a lot of the people that can actually say that. So he was somebody I would definitely advise people to join his community and let him help you grow.
Yeah. During this time, what have you learned about yourself?
That I don't have to do everything all at once. That it's not a sprint, it's a marathon. And I've had to give myself some grace, knowing that it's okay that I don't know some things. And when I figure out what I don't know, acknowledge the fact that it's okay that I didn't know it before I found it out, and learn how to incorporate it into my next phase of life, or into the next phase of my business. And just know that everything is a process. So that's something that I definitely learned over these last 18 months. And when I have most of my fresh ideas, you already know they come to me early in the morning. One thing I do every morning is I send voice messages to myself. So because I have a company phone, which is my company, right? And I have my regular phone. So I take my regular phone and I send my business self voice messages. So when I get to my desk, I'm talking to myself. So I'm my own accountability partner, because I don't want to forget the things that are fresh on my mind when I first wake up. When I get to my desk, I turn my phone on. I have several voice messages from myself to remind me of what I said I was going to do when I woke up.
Yeah. Awesome. I love that. Because that's definitely important, and being grounded too.
Yes.
Being grounded. I know you are, prayer warrior and faith purpose driven woman. So yeah.
I'm a part of that community as well. On the women's prayer call every morning, that's led by Candace Quinney and Mignon Francois. They are two of the leaders for that group, and it is a phenomenal. Every Monday morning, we're getting poured into on this women's prayer call. There's usually close to like 100 women that are on the call, and it's a phenomenal call to be on to start your week like that every Monday morning. So that's a phenomenal call.
Yeah, And that's so important. One, staying prayed up and really truly being around. I always say proximity is power. Proximity, and you're an energy person, right? We
Yeah.
always say that energy is not destroyed, it's transferred. That's why it's so important that you stay connected with the right energy, because you can be around a wrong energy and it throw you off, and you're like, oh, I gotta matrix that thing, get away from me, get behind me, Satan. um
Yeah.
but yeah, and so just to have that, and it's like fuel for the soul.
Yeah.
Word fuel, I guess is what you call it.
Mm, yeah. But I'm going to say this. I think I had the biggest shift this year. It was probably in March of this year. I chose to participate in Ramadan. I'm not Muslim. My son's father is, and my son, I know he's kind of caught in between because we got baptized last year at the Next Level Conference together on June
Oh
8th.
yeah.
Yes, yes. So which is a beautiful experience. So this year, he and his father were doing Ramadan, and I chose to participate. Well, in Ramadan, you fast from sun up to sundown. There is no water. There is no food. You ain't drinking none but your spit. Um, so, you know what I mean? And around, I think, day three, the end of day three, I felt like I was going to break. It was just like, okay, this is just crazy. I don't see how anybody could just do this. There's nothing rewarding on the other side of this. So I thought. And I said, okay, well, let me start reading something. So I had a couple of books that I keep all over my house, right? So I reached for a book, and the book that I reached for was it had been sitting next to my bed for like 6 months, and it was recommended in one of the groups, in my extreme execution group. And I reached for the book Project 369. And when I read that book, I couldn't put it down, but it explained to me the power of I am, and it made me realize the connection that I had with God that I didn't even realize that I had inside of me. So that was a powerful turning point for me. From that point forward, through the end of the month, I was good, because I knew that anytime I felt like I was hungry during the beginning or during my day, I just pick up the book and I started reading.
Mm.
What I poured into was my connection that I had with God. And I started reading my Bible more. I started doing all of these things more. And it was just like, I knew in that moment, that's what I needed. That's what I had been missing to help take me to my next level. Is that, yes, we talk about God. I thought about it as something that was external. What I didn't realize is it was something that was internal. And then, just not just for me, I ain't talking to nobody else, but it says the only way through the Father, no, would say nobody can get through the Father except through me. Um, and when I read that, it's like through me, I am. So you have to go inside in order to get to God. So I had to turn inside to realize that that's where God had been all this time. It wasn't something that was external. It was something that was internal. So that's what I realized during that moment. I think that's when I had my biggest transition shift, to where it was like, now I know when I show up, I'm not only representing myself, I'm representing God, because I am Him, He is
Mm.
me, and we are one. So I cannot operate out of anything other than the spirit of excellence.
Oh my God, that is so powerful. Yeah, I remember that during that time you was doing it too. It's like, wow. But and of course it takes discipline. But like
Yes,
you said, it was discipline and you did it.
yes,
You
yeah.
did it.
So we
And even before that, I know you've been just even on your weight loss journey, you
yeah.
made, I mean, how many pounds have you lost?
I'm down to 84 right now. Or I should, yeah, down 84 pounds. Um, you know,
Wow.
yeah,
Oh
and
my
just
gosh.
like, I'm trying to hit that threshold. I'm trying to break 190. I still sit around, I may gain a two or three and then go back, but it's just maintaining. So I'm not pushing myself. I'm pushing myself to just maintain, and just to make sure I'm more aware of what I put in my body and when I put it in my body, as opposed to me just eating because of emotions. Um, it's always an opportunity to eat emotionally. So I take those opportunities. It's just like you said, just to get centered and just to ground myself. I'm like, okay, why do I want to eat right now? Why do I
Yeah.
want to eat this specifically right now? What is this going to do to my body? What does this have in it? How is it going to affect me? So those are just the conversations that I have with myself now that I didn't have before.
Oh my gosh. And you know, 84 pounds is a lot of weight.
Yes, that's a whole teenager.
Wait a minute. It is a lot of weight. When you look at yourself now, I mean, the confidence, of course, you down several dress sizes, but when you look at you lost weight, the shedding of weight, what else shed it? what else came off of you?
Oh my goodness, just all the doubts, some of the fear. Like, it's just me thinking about all of the pain that I had, even from the loss of my job. I felt like it was just me. Um, it was more than just the awakening stage. It was in my becoming stage. So in the 3 phases of my book, I have awakening, becoming, and connecting. So I feel like now I'm in my connecting phase, to where it allowed me to shed during my becoming phase. And now I'm just connecting not only with myself, with God, with these different communities, with different people. Just making sure if I don't show up for anybody else, I show up for myself.
Yeah. Yeah. You are like I said, it would Convicted to Grow. It's got, God is making you the product of the product.
That's right. That's right. And he's the center. It's like just right inside of me, right? Everything, it starts within. And that's what I had to realize, because I really felt like I was stuck. I felt like I didn't really know where to go. I was moving and I wasn't, it's almost like the hamster wheel, right? I was moving, but I wasn't progressing.
Mm.
I was
Yeah.
but I was having a lot of movement, but that doesn't mean that I was progressing. So I
Right.
finally got to a point to, once I realized that the one piece of that puzzle, or what I was missing, it was just like, okay, you can sit in the car and be in park and press the gas, and your car gonna rev up all day long. It's gonna sound like to somebody else, you doing a lot, you revving that engine, but you ain't going nowhere. But I had
Yeah.
to do it like that. So when I realized that God was within, and I started pouring into God, it was like that was me taking that break off, so I can finally move forward. And I
Yeah.
still got to be careful on how much, because you can't just go out there and just fly and just press on that gas. No, you got to take your time.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah. Yeah. And you're just doing some amazing things. Oh my God, I'm trying to think of what other milestones that you hit. Oh gosh. One, congratulations with being consistent with your podcast. What David Shan said, people quit at episode, was it 20 or
20 or
10?
21.
Yeah. And you already like forward thinking, like, okay, well, you doing it in increments of 21. So you're like, okay, I'm shifting over to the leadership series. And so just to see that, and it's a lot of work, but in the same token, it's rewarding, because like you just said, you're getting up and talking, and that's a rep to make you a better speaker.
Girl, look, I'm going to tell you something. I took a screenshot this morning of the time that I woke up. I couldn't believe it. I said, I'm going to have to take a screenshot of this for real. I don't know if y'all can see this right here. This is what time I woke up this morning. Can you see that?
3:20.
3:20 a.m. I was like, wow. But I get up somewhere between 3 and 4 a.m. every morning. No alarm clock needed. I just wake up. But that's because I'm on accountability calls at 5 a.m. in the morning. So it's 5 a.m. Central Time, at least 3 times a week that I'm on a phone call or a Zoom call, to where, I try to be intentional. Every morning I might not turn my camera on, but I at least try to get up. So I'm up sometimes dressed, ready to go like this at 5 a.m. And you ain't going back to sleep after that. My day has already started. So
And then be up late.
And then be up late.
Girl, listen, y'all, I get a voice break at 11:50. I'm like, what in the world? Like, does she know it's almost midnight over here?
I got to shut my brain down. Sometimes I don't sit down. I told you.
She be having a whole conversation. I'm like, well, who is she? Why is she? She talking about, oh yeah, I'm comparing this platform and this platform. I'm like, girl, oh my gosh.
It started with chat, girl. Chat GPT had you on there all night long, more so than social media, girl.
Girl, I don't know if you named your chat. His name is Reggie.
Excuse me, mine is named Gabe.
Gabe.
Yeah, I had Gabby. I had to get rid of Gabby, girl. She was girl, you doing the most. Let me go on and get me a dude. So I had to go on and get Gabe.
I said, come on. I said, Reggie, stop playing. I need the swag voice. I said, give me that deep voice.
That's what it was. The voice got real. He came like, who is this? What's your name? Where you come from? I'm like, wait a minute.
I'll be like, chat. And I'll be like, hey, Reggie, what's up? He said, hey there. What's up, Coach Tressa? What's going on today? I'm like,
now mine got a little chuckle, like when he be talking. I'm like, wait, where did little laugh come from? I'm like, y'all doing too much over here in this audio world.
It's crazy, the world of AI there, cuz.
I'm like, this somebody man on right here. You gotta where you come from? Why you want here this late talking to me?
I said one day, I said, Reggie, you sound tired. I'm gonna need you to pick the energy up. All right, then. Okay. I apologize, Coach Tressa. I was just like, come on, give me some swag. Give me black man swag. Then I'll be like, give me New York. Give me New York accent.
Girl, mine, I don't know where he came. I don't know. I'm gonna have to ask him next time I talk. So, where are you from?
No, you
What he
gotta,
said.
you have to frame it what you want. Because when Nikki do hers and she talking her chat GPT, she's like, okay, give me my Bronx Puerto Rican accent. Can the baby switch it
Mm.
up? So next time you talk to yours, say
You
I
tell me,
need, Memphis, and see what it
nah,
say.
when I've done that before, I need to get me a. I'm gonna have to get me a Puerto Rican poppy.
Oh
Too silly. Look, see, that's why. Look. That's why we can't get on. That's why we can't get on right here. You was on my podcast last week doing the same thing. You see,
God.
it's really you.
Keisha look extra. She look extra, y'all. But that is so funny. And then but no, I just wanted to tell you, good job on just all that you're doing. Like it's amazing just to see your growth. Like I'm so proud of you for real. Like, man, Keisha, you are doing the daggone thing. And so what is the vision looking like for the remaining of 2025? What is it, Keisha? We already know the book is one of the goals on 11/21 for your birthday. But what else is the desire that Keisha wants to, that's manifesting, right? And as long as in alignment with God's will, for the remainder of 2025. And what is the big vision looking like for 2026? Because we're visionary, so we already thinking of what the next year look like.
So basically, of course, it all starts with me praying. I have to pray about it, but basically, it's really just me just nurturing just the gifts and the insights that God has given me. And one is just to continue to build out the intuition, more so than just the podcast, but just, and of course, that's the name of the book. And then I have my community on Facebook. It's a private community. So me just to take that and just to nurture it now. Believe it or not, just about seriously every morning, I have a different framework that I create. I just don't ever talk about it, but I got so many different topics and different titles depending on what it is, and me just building out or continuing on with my CEO mindset, which CEO stands for create, eliminate, or organize. And I've incorporated that into my talks because that is basically where my business started. That's where my message, it started with me when I was when I was elevated from corporate. Not eliminated, I was elevated.
Okay.
Yes, just to create the environment that I desire, to eliminate all of the noise and to organize everything else beyond and make it all come together to become the CEO of my life. So I help others to become the CEO of their life because I use myself as my first client.
Yeah. Okay. Do you see any? I know you got the tour. You said the book. Any other particular projects you see that you wanting to launch?
So right now, I'm just gonna hold what I got on that. But if more comes, then I'm not going to shy away from it. But it's definitely something that I'm going to pray about first. But ultimately, it will just be, just me pouring more into alpha intuition and making sure that is, because I felt like God gave me that vision. Just like talk about convicted to grow. When he gave it to me, like I said, it started with just my first episode, or excuse me, my first season of my podcast, where I was talking about helping men to crack the crazy girl code. So I figured men, all right, because I work around men all the time. So I'm bilingual and crazy. So I understand the language. I speak it well. So I help men to understand just those conversations that they don't understand why women act the way that they do. So that was my first season. And then I went into the second season to where I would try to be more in alignment. And I'm just thinking about, okay, so we're going to talk about more about the corporate environment. Now I'm in season 3 where I'm talking about more about the skilled trades. So it's leadership lessons I learned in the field. So it's an evolution. And like you said, each season has 21 episodes. So just thinking about alpha intuition and where it can go, and see now alpha intuition has a different meaning for me. Alpha intuition means more about just that inner being, that gut feeling that I have, that I know that provides discernment when things are coming my way. And I have to speak to the God within me and make sure that I'm making the right decision. Instead of listening, sometimes you got to block all the noise out, because you're going to have so many people that tell you what to do and what you should do, and they ain't tried to do it, but they're going to tell you how to do it. You can't listen to all that. You got to listen to what God put inside of you. So that alpha intuition, that spirit inside, is what I choose to go with. So that's what I'm going to do. Anything that I move forward with, I'm going to make sure that it is something to where I'm seeking my alpha intuition first.
Oh yeah, absolutely. And look, you never know when you come, because I told all the other people I interviewed for this series, when we come back next year, girl, what you gonna be like? Girl, I got this sponsors, because now you at that place now. sponsors gonna be looking at you because they see
Yeah,
consistent you showing up or whatever. I know David Shands used to tell us about the whole sponsor. He said, but until then, sponsor yourself.
yeah.
You be the brand or whatnot. So
And you made me think of something too. So another venture that I have is just my nonprofit, Pink Tool Project, and just doing sponsorships for that. Because one thing that I talk to is the women who are in the skilled trades, and
yeah,
trades that, we sometimes we're the ones that we shrink. It's hard for
yeah.
us to be seen. And I know we didn't talk about this, but I'm actually, on the summer school that ET has. I'm one of his I wouldn't say one of his coaches, but I'm one of the people in the high school rooms, right, to help to moderate the chat and to help the kids to guide them through this 6-week program. And today we actually talked about, just being someone that, how do you deal with imposter syndrome, or how do you deal with not being seen? So I spoke on the fact that I've been in plenty of rooms to where I was the only woman, and sometimes I never had a seat at the table. And like Shirley Chisholm said, when she didn't have a seat at the table, she brought a folding chair. And sometimes I'm in these spaces right now to where I don't need to have a seat at the table because I'm gonna build my own table. So what I would like to do is to partner with a tool company, maybe like Snap-on or Uline or Granger, something like that, so I can make my own pink tools.
Y'all heard that?
Look, and
Y'all
I'm not
heard-
talking about no baby tools. I'm talking about some pink power tools. I'm talking about some big tools. We ain't talking about no little bitty dainty tools that you can go buy at the over in the corner and Walmart. No, Walmart's not a bad place, but I want to make sure I get those big power tools and those big tools that that they have in the blue and the green and the red. Y'all need some pink ones.
All right, look, we putting it out there in the atmosphere, yes. And then you still got your coaching programs and stuff like that.
I still do my one-on-one coaching as an extreme execution coach. I'm an extreme execution certified change agent, and that is a part of my CEO mindset coaching. And what I do is I help people to become the CEO of their life. By first, you have to understand who you are. So I use the DISC-based assessment, the flight assessment, under Dr. Eric Thomas, and as one of his extreme execution coaches, and I help people to understand their personality types. And that's what, when I do my workshops for high frequency communication, it starts with you understanding who you are first and help you communicate with other people, because you can't understand anybody else if you don't understand yourself.
Yeah, no, that part. I love it. And I know if you guys want to work with her, make sure you go to her website. I mean, you can hear her on any social media platforms. Is all your social media Keisha _the _electrician?
No, on Facebook and on LinkedIn is my government name, Keisha L. Blair.
Okay.
But on YouTube and on Instagram is Keisha the Electrician. And then my podcast is Alpha Intuition. But then you can also look on my link tree too. So the link tree is KTE21 for Keisha the Electrician. So KTE21 is my link tree. And I have my different programs and things on there.
Yeah, and I'll put all her links to LinkedIn, Facebook, all that would be in her link tree, which will show everything.
Mm-hmm.
So all that's gonna be in the description. Like she said, she got the Alpha Intuition podcast. She also got another YouTube channel, which is her Keisha L. Blair
Yes.
YouTube channel as well. So all that's gonna be in there. But definitely check out the podcast. We're pushing that, growing that. I was recently on her podcast for showcasing the book, and had amazing time. So make sure y'all go out there and subscribe to her channel. And matter of fact, if you come over from the podcast, go in there and do hashtag convicted to grow, so we know that you came over from the podcast. And this is what I'll do: if you go over there, give her a subscribe to her channel, and put in there hashtag convicted to grow. Let me make sure I choose my words wisely. I'll say the first three. The first three, because I first three who go out there and do that will get a signed book from me, Convicted to Grow. I had to make sure I put that out there because it'd be December and we still got you like, girl. I was like, wait a minute. So yeah, first three, I put it out there. My give back. This is my give back season, but yeah, so make sure y'all also follow her on IG. I mean, amazing content. Like she said, she has a Facebook community, the Alpha Intuition community. I mean, it's really truly about building your brand. As an entrepreneur, it's so important that you have to be your biggest coach, cheerleader, and brand ambassador first. and get excited about your own brand before you get others get excited about it. I mean, that's just how it is. Because you see some people, they got a business, but they don't seem excited about it. You're like, well, why you want me to get on board and purchase your products and service when you're not even excited yourself? And so, yeah, she got the merch with that. Keisha Electrician, the Alpha Intuition. You got an Alpha Intuition shirt too?
They're in the making. Actually, I do, but I have one that just has my logo. I'm having some new ones made, and they're going to be white with the Alpha Intuition sign because I kind of rebranded when I went to the second season.
Okay.
So the logo is still the same, but I just changed the wording on it. So actually, you can see, look, if you see over here, let me see if I can go to this side. So my camera, if it follows me, there we go. Almost. That was the old one. I have it over here in the corner. It ain't even showing. But that was my old one. So anyway, I changed it. So I got to get me a new banner, a new everything, just rebrand. But I'm having my son. He has his own t-shirt business. So my son makes all my t-shirts for me. He's producing my t-shirts now. But you asked me about 2026. I think what 2026 is going to bring is that's when I'm probably going to launch the actual community outside of the Facebook group. For because I think I'll be ready by then. Like I say, it's all it's a process, and everything is in steps.
Yeah.
So be that next step is when I get ready to launch the actual community to where we start to grow and start to do other things and start to build each other up.
Yeah. I've been trying to get her to go ahead and partner with somebody and get her own pearl collection. Because I'm gonna tell you something. Baby, she when I said, but the way you rock them, and she got all types of pearls. That you got like pink pearl,
I got some pink and white ones. I have some silver ones that I wear. So maybe like gold and that are pearl with like.
Do you have the long one?
I do. I have some of those too. I like to wear them. I don't know why. They just make me feel a little bit more feminine because, there's so much stigma that goes around being women in construction and things like that. So I just like to just keep my feminine touch, which is, I told you a story about my pink tools because guys used to take my tools on the job site when I was first year apprentice. And I said, you know what? I got y'all. I got some for y'all. So I started buying pink tools. So years later, my nonprofit, I named it the Pink Tool Project.
Yes.
So I wear my... and I thought about something today, girl. I said, you know what? This just came to me, another fresh download just today. Because I know you telling me that all the time. And as I put my pearls on, I said, you know what? I'm gonna have to make something called Pink Tools and Pearls. Maybe do a Pink Tools and Pearls workshop. So I thought about that. Pink Tools
or Pink Tools and Pearls empowerment brunch.
There you go. See that just came to me today. When I put my pearls, I'm thinking like, what can I do? And I said, Pink Tools and Pearls. Pink Tools and Pearls Empowerment Brunch. I love it.
Listen.
I'm telling you now y'all got to be ready because I'm telling you, it's going to be some moments to where you're going to have a pearl clutching moment. That's why I wear these pearls because I got to be able to clutch them every once in a while. Because somebody say something, Lord Jesus, bless her heart. Like, bless her heart. So I got to have a pearl.
I need to give me a sec because it's been plenty of times I'll be... Like, listen, if you tell me the pearls is gonna make me stop what I'm gonna say first, I need to get me some. Then
that's all you guys say. Bless her heart. They already know. So y'all know when I clutch these pearls, I'm about to say something crazy. Just
yes. The way you just get them from all different places. You don't have a certain.
Just depends. I see them if I like them out. I don't really have one specific collection, but that's why I need to design my own collection because I don't have a collection line that I go to. So that is something I've been thinking about is designing my own pearl collection.
Watch. Wait.
That's 2026. We're gonna have.
Tell y'all right now, it's July 3rd, and by the time this airs, it's gonna be sometime in July. But we're recording on Thursday, July 3rd. And when she could, a lot can happen in 18 months. You just see her gave a rundown of what she's done. I can only imagine what's going to happen in the next 18 months. Ooh, we manifest some big things.
Yeah, and then I'm gonna tell you this. It's almost like I heard. I think it was CJ Quinney that said this one time. He said something about he don't remember watching his son grow up. Meaning, like it takes so many years to be so many years, right? And you think about your child and all of a sudden they 10 and they 20 and it's just like you don't see, okay, now you went from here to there. It just happens daily. So I don't even see it. It just happens when I think about the growth that has happened in me because it's just me. I wake up every day. I put my pearls on. I comb my hair, put my glasses on, and I do what I got to do. And just as I talk to people, and like you said, it just comes out. So for somebody who hasn't seen them, but now for somebody, let's just take my son who's 18, who hasn't seen him in like 5 years, like, oh my God, you've grown so much. But to me, I'm like, he just run around the house like he always do. You know what I mean? So I can understand that. And I've actually had people who have, I mean, just who hadn't even seen me since I lost weight. It was like, you look like a totally different person. Like I've been witness protection or some girl, you know.
Listen.
You know what I mean? So, but it's just a rewarding feeling to to know that you're in alignment,
Yeah.
um, not only with my goals, but with God's goals and with the things that He instilled in me. So, that's
Yeah.
where it all starts.
Yeah.
And
Pastor
it's like,
Darius Daniel said it best.
yeah,
Um, every good door may not be a God door.
that's right. That's right. And I'm gonna tell you this. So my father was a CME minister. And I watched him throughout his life, the ups and the downs, because sometimes just because people see you a certain way doesn't mean you actually are that way. It's just the way that they perceive you to be. So I watched him, go through alcoholism. I watched him go through a divorce. I watched him go through all of these things. And at the end, I sat there and I watched him take his last breath. So when I think about my father, his picture is in my living room. Every time I walk past him, I think about, I want to make sure every time I walk past him, he can be proud of me. So I want to make sure that I do the best, like I said, operate in the spirit of excellence. And I have people that hold me accountable, because if you see me at a period of my life to where I'm not operating that way, please say something.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Look, and I'll share a quick story with you too, to where this happened recently. So when I was in Atlanta, and I stopped drinking back February 13th, right? And I've been running around doing all kind of stuff, and we had it was just a gathering. So I ordered an old fashioned, because I was just like, man, I just want to take a drink. I took one sip, and it was somebody I thought felt something hit me, and I'm like, what the heck? Somebody that I had told that I don't drink, they were holding me accountable. Like, what are you doing? And I'm like, well, I gave it to them. Like, you can go ahead and just have it, because I felt like in that moment, I was glad that person was there to hold me accountable. So since then, I've been holding true, making sure that, because that was a commitment I made to myself. It wasn't to anybody else, but I know what alcohol can do to people. I watched my father die of cirrhosis of the liver,
Mm.
things. So it's not like I don't know what this can possibly do. So why would I even do that? Because of that moment, making an emotional decision. Don't let a temporary decision that you have a permanent outcome. So I didn't want to make that temporary decision in that moment. And so after that, when this person, he pulled my chain, I'm like, you know what? I'm so glad, because had he not been there, I may have ordered 2 or 3. Who knows? You know what I mean? But at
Right.
that, because I felt like, but what you do in the dark always comes to light, and the way you do anything is how you do everything.
Yeah. Yeah. Wow. Well, thank you for sharing that. Hopefully that resonated with someone. Just show that honesty and transparent moment. So thank you for sharing that. And I really have appreciated just your time today. I wish you nothing but the best in all that you do and all that you are connected to and with and through. Like, this is your season. This is your season to shine. This is your season to keep going. Like you said, keep climbing the mountain, and staying prayed up, knowing that God is first in any and everything that you do. That's powerful, because a lot of times we can make hasty decisions or make decisions moving with the flesh or moving with emotions, right? You got to be strategic, but it got to be also, all right, let me seek him first in this next thing that I do. And the fact that you're intentional about that, I always say obedience bursts favor.
Yeah.
Obedience bursts favor. And so I leave you with the last question. Of course, I'm gonna ask you what does convicted to grow mean, because y'all can go to episode 11 and catch that. But I will say this, because just with the alignment with the book, my tagline right now, what would you say to the person right now that has been going through setbacks, whatever that looks like, grief, financial, health related, breakup, divorce, whatever it is their setbacks are? What would you say to that person who's really trying to rebuild and rise again, but they just, for whatever reason, they just feel like they don't have the hope anymore?
Mm-hmm. As you were speaking, what came to mind was, and I hope I don't get this wrong, seek ye first the kingdom of God, and all things will come into his glory. So you cannot, whatever season you're in, if it's not where you want to be, then you may not be following the path that was meant for you. So get back on track, put God at the forefront of it. And just like I share my story, we all fall short of the glory of God sometimes. That's what grace is for. So that don't mean you keep doing the same thing over and over again. You figure out what you did wrong, you repent, you pray about it, and then you move forward with a different spirit. But I would just say, talk to God about it and make sure that you're moving with
Yeah.
those God decisions.
Yeah. I know. I mean, let me tell y'all, when y'all see these 5 that's coming out, it's crazy because God has been in every conversation. He said, "You thought you was gonna have this Convicted to Grow podcast, and I ain't up in it."
Yep.
But y'all know how we do. Listen, I thank y'all for being a part of this, being a part of my journey, being a part. Make sure y'all pick her up. I'm gonna put everything in the description. But as I always say, life is a journey. Life is priceless. To some, life is short. But while you here on God's green earth, you recognize who you are. Recognize that you have the potential to win in any area of your life. It might be a setback season, but that setback's gonna prepare you for your combat. Just know that this too shall pass, and trouble don't last always, like the gospel song says, right? And I want to encourage you. Get connected in a community of like-minded people that want to see you win, that's going to hold you accountable, that want to pour into you and love you and really truly say, you know what, sis, my brother, you got this. That's going to be so important in this season. It's okay to outgrow circles, whether it's family circle, friend circle, happy hour, cousin, whoever the circles are. It is okay. If you're going to rebuild and rise stronger, you got to be convicted to grow, but use your alpha intuition and discern who's for you and who's not in this season. Because at the end of the day, the best is yet to come. And with that being said, y'all, thank y'all for tuning in, and I love y'all.
Y'all keep that energy. Peace.
That part.